Well, hello, buddy, and welcome to a special live episode of DC Studios Podcast here for Multiverse of Color. I'm one of your hosts, Andy B, as always. And first of all, happy December. We're at the end of this long, very long year, but we're here for a very super special occasion. Our regular host, Vanessa and Jedi Mike couldn't be here today, but hopefully we'll hear from them shortly about what they thought about this little thing we're going to talk about soon. But I am joined, as always, by one of our other co-hosts, Kyle from the Film Realist. Kyle, how are we doing today?
Are we gonna have a super day? Because I can't even contain how excited I am to discuss this, and I'm looking forward to hearing from Vanessa and Mike. But it's so weird. We're in a new era of expected DC things now. Before we really dive into it, and we're joined by our lovely guests, I hate teaser trailers. Like I'm just say when it's coming. Don't show me anything because I was more excited for this announcement or when the movie was announced than I think I was anything else in the slate. And then every little piece of information we got from this, I love the graphic novel, and I know we're going to really dive into this, but everything about this made me so excited, and it drove me crazy that I think it took 5 hours from when it released to when I had time to watch it. And
Yeah.
I'm on cloud 9 with what we're going to be talking about today because it's so strange to be in this era of DC movies where there's a lot of it positive enthusiasm. And like
Yeah.
you're going to I've seen some stuff people are going to try to take their swings, but bring them baby. We're getting a
Yeah.
Supergirl movie. I'm so excited. I love me some Kara Zor-El.
Well, who doesn't love cars as well? One person that I know that probably loves cars as well. He's the host and creator of Real Anarchy, and he's the lovely Ben. So we're gonna welcome Ben back to the show. Ben, how are we doing today?
I wasn't doing so great earlier, but I'm doing fantastic now. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, of course. Well, I'm glad you're doing better now because today, this has been a dark year, but
Yes.
today is all full of hope. The House of L is shining its light in the
Oh yeah.
sky. Not in a bad signal kind of way, but like you get what I mean.
No, I got
It's
you.
good, but it's good to have you back. I know you just you have your reaction is live on your channel as we speak.
I did a reaction, but they took it down, so I did a little breakdown, like just like a little snippet. I don't know why. Like I've seen other people's reaction. I'm like, why am I blacklisted?
Warner Brothers and their music seems to cause a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Like in short form, you got to be
Disney. Disney does this as
Disney,
well.
Amazon is really aggressive too.
Yeah. So under a minute, if it's in a short, you've got to like hit 59 seconds perfectly, and then it slides right through. But I mean, it's so fun to just
Dylan,
have this where you're using. I think that was we all probably were in that boat where are the needle drops going to be an essential part of Superman? But in a trailer, it's all fair game.
Oh, sure.
Well, I wonder how it was for people when they were reacting to the Superman trailer because technically it is John Williams' score. Even though it's like recomposed by other composers, it's still John Williams. I wonder what happened to people who were reacting to that if they got strike or if they got hit.
I can let me look.
Mine didn't even get demonetized. That's
you didn't get what?
It didn't. It got demonetized, but it didn't get blocked. But this one, I just did a reaction. It was a short. It was like 2 minutes because it's a clip. It's a small. It's a teaser to the trailer, whatever. And I did a reaction. And it's just like 2 minutes and change, and then it got completely blocked. But I guess it's because of the song.
The first trailer looks like it went fine, which I find incredibly hilarious because that one was much more about the theme song because there's a lot more dialogue in the second trailer.
Yeah, that was something people talked about the first trailer, which meant was that there was very little dialogue. We even hear Clark talk. So, but today it's not about Clark. It's not about Superman. It's about Supergirl. We have one more guest who's waiting to join us. He is, if you're on X, surviving the platform that is X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. If you love being part of a community, there one of the best DC communities of all time is home of DCU. So it's my honor to welcome back the one and only Cole. Yes, there we go.
Hey,
Supergirl.
Cole.
Guys,
I haven't talked
How
to
we-
you forever.
I know it's been like
Like-
since the Superman movie.
Yeah, yeah. Like you weren't even in your second year of college yet at that point. Or like what
Oh,
year
that-
are you now?
This is my third year and I'm graduating.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah.
Time flies. They grow up so fast.
I know.
But are you on break now? Or are you?
I am I'm coming up on finals week. So yeah.
What's your major?
A film.
Tell us
Film?
everything about you that you definitely want the internet to know.
Yeah. No. That's
that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, leave it at that. What
Yeah.
college did you go
But
to?
I will say this: like, if someone like ever tries to do anything funny, to call anything disrespectful, anything like that, like, listen, he has his uncles right here that will come for you. So
Yes.
behave. But it's good to have you back. We know Rhea is going to be joining us. Hopefully very soon. Also, hopefully Alex from DC Film News. So we will have more guests coming in. But guys, what a week this has been since, because it started with, and I have to give credits to Mr. Cole here, because this is how I found out the Supergirl socials. Like, you're the one who found it first, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's on its way." And then we found a Facebook that was already verified, and Instagram that was already verified, and it's like, okay, something is coming. And then last Sunday, the world found out that it was an event. Well, there were events because they were doing something at CCXP in Brazil, and they were also doing something in New York, and like, I don't know. It's interesting because like 10 years ago, like, we didn't have these like trailer events. It was either like, here's a trailer, boom.
That's
Either
it.
you see it,
Right.
but now it's like it's interesting that DC Studios is like they're leaning still into that, and I feel like, especially for like, again, even though Supergirl is a relatively big character, again, like compared to someone like Superman, like me, yeah, like I'm glad they're sticking to this model where like all films get the same type of marketing, same kind of treatment, and that way, more people will get more exposure to it. Because again, like, I mean, imagine like when we get to Clayface, like, people don't really know who Clayface is, so that's going to be very interesting. What's up, Cal?
I was just gonna say there's gonna be like poor interns running through the streets of big cities throwing clay everywhere. Like they're gonna have to do something.
I mean,
It's not
why I wish.
possible.
It's why I wish the movie came out
They
in
do that
October.
with those horror films. They do that.
They
Mhm.
do that.
Because I remember, which one was it? Smile, that they have people on I think
The
it was in the
baseball games.
baseball fields behind
Yes,
the dugout with
yes.
this big. Yeah, so I thought that was
They did
clever
it with
marketing.
They did it with it because they had like little
Red
like,
balloons.
Right.
Yeah, the
red
balloon.
balloons.
Yeah, the red balloon. Yeah.
And if there's something that Warner Bros. Is really, really good at, it is. I
Marketing.
mean, it's horror.
Selling
It's
themselves
horror.
as a studio.
I just feel like we have.
I
to
didn't think we were
record
gonna
these
get there
as-
this fast.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It only took Kyle less than 10 minutes.
9
So-
minutes, 30 seconds.
Well, there you go. Rachel, good to see you. We are so ready for the summer of Supergirl. It's really the super saga under its way. And but yeah, this week, like the trailer finally released. I mean, first we had a teaser for the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
And then we got the teaser trailer today finally, and we're here to discuss it. If you guys haven't seen it, I don't know what the fuck you're doing here, but glad to have you here. But again, it's on the DC YouTube channel, so go check it out and come back and then join us for the discussion, because my God, there was so much in just because again, this was a 2-minute and 2 seconds trailer, and there was still so much ground covered. So let's just start kind of with just general overall impressions. We'll start with the youngest, with Mr. Cole. So so no pressure, but
He could be
well,
really old in school. Why would you assume that? Maybe
because
maybe
he's reminded me too many times that I'm older than him, and that's why I'm like, yeah, there's no point of me even like trying to pretend that I don't know how old he is, because I'm like, I'm angry. Like you were in, like when I was in high school. Were you even born? I don't even know.
I'm
I don't
guessing
think so.
Cole was born in 2002.
Nope.
Younger.
Like-
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, oh boy.
So anyway,
Is that too young?
Cole.
Let's not be ageist. Cole, what'd you think of the
Yes.
trailer?
Yeah. What did you think of the trailer?
Okay, so it very much felt like a standard comic book movie trailer, whereas Superman's was it felt more emotionally driven, and this felt more like action driven and sort of like what you see with the comic book movie trailers. I don't know how I feel about that, but I think visually I really did like it. Um, I think I have some thoughts on Krem's design, but other than that, I had a good time.
Ben, how about you? Once you were finally able to see your trailer, like again, like how do you stay on social media? Because I don't, you saw the trailer.
No, I didn't see the trailer until sometime around 3 after I picked up my daughter. That's when I saw the trailer, and I did a reaction because today was a really bad day at work. But I like the aesthetic of one of the things that I remember James Gunn saying, and I actually sent him a message on Threads since he likes to answer to my questions. But I
He
asked,
does. He
yeah.
does.
So one of the things I remember him saying is that he wants every movie to have different tones, not different tones, but let the director, set their, the stamps on the films. And it feels like a Gillespie film, even though, yeah, you can say that this is a space opera where it has some little things that you can reference to Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, but the tone is very different from Superman, and I appreciate that because I feel like the tone is telling me that you're telling a different story with this character versus Superman, which was lighter in tone. The kind of story, hopeful, the beacon in the sky, whatever, that James Gunn was trying to do. And so I appreciate the tone a lot. That is drastically different from Superman. It looks very grounded, and even though it's like a space opera, but when she's waiting for the bus, that's where I was like, is this Star Wars? but if it looked good, it just looked crisp. Everything about it looks good. What's another thing? We'll get to Creme also, because that's the only thing that I'm like, what the fuck is this? Can I curse? I'm sorry.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
For our,
What the
for our
fuck
listener
is
viewers,
this?
cursing
Yeah,
is allowed on the show.
that was the only thing that, and I could be wrong, because I'll dive deep into that later on, because I don't think it should be a big deal, but I have my reservations about the way that he looked on that trailer.
Before we continue with Kyle, we do have another guest joining us, because I promise you all, this is not a dudes fest. Like we're like, there's all perspectives coming.
I was about to leave.
Yeah. No. Don't talk about food. I have not been feeling well today, and like anyone talks about food, I'm just like, no, I don't want to grow an appetite.
I
But
shouldn't
I
tell you
wasn't
about the
talking about
nachos I had
food.
for dinner.
yeah,
I wasn't talking about food though.
touche. If you are following Multiverse of Color on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you've been following our shorts, you will know this next person that's about to join us. She is the amazing voice and our social media coordinator, Rhea. Hello, Rhea. Welcome. How are you?
Evening, y'all. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Sorry, I'm running late.
No. Listen. It's all good. We barely scratched the surface. But how are you, Ray? It's been a while. How's life? How was your day? How was your getting into Supergirl finally?
I'll be honest, I only just barely watched the trailer a couple times before hopping on. I was like, "Oh man, what am I even gonna like talk about?" And I feel like I've been a little bit out of the loop as far as like the day to day, you know, leading up to this moment. So I am trying to, reacclimate and, get on, the hype party train, bus, whatever we want to. Yeah. So basically that's why I'm here. But yes, I am excited to kind of, get the wheels running or rolling in my brain as far as like, things to, point out as far as like Easter eggs or even just like some speculation as far as like what characters are gonna have on screen, appearances or interactions, some plot points, things like that. So yeah, that's all that I'm excited about right now.
And Kyle, your overall impressions of the Supergirl trailer, because I know you were texting me saying that I can't watch this until I get home, and I'm like,
my God. Yeah. I was dodging. I mean, you know what? I think as somebody who's lived through all of social media, its infancy and whatnot, I knew the smartest thing was to just not open social media after 12 p.m. Eastern, because I'm an Eastern Standard boy. I love this graphic novel. I had read it. I like Tom King. And so what I was really curious about, having also lived through the MCU, was they will say things about comics or graphic novels or even use titles, and then they have nothing to do with anything. Like the X-Men, I don't even know. Maybe they won't be X-Men. Who knows? And so like my hesitancy with the announcement for this, I'm going all the way back, but then in the green room, just as all the pieces of information started to come out as to what this movie was going to be about, I was excited. I like Craig Gillespie. I like the stuff he's done, specifically with Cruella and I, Tonya. Like, you getting that guy to do this, automatically I'm like, oh, I have an idea, I think. And Ben talked about the tone. And what I love so much about this, and Cole, I'm going to disagree with you a little, outside of it being to like a record or a needle drop. What I think this does so well is this pitches exactly who this Kara is. If you watch the Arrowverse stuff, like, she's much more akin to who Clark is, in at least prior to Superman and Lois. And you have to sell why this character, not just it being Supergirl, is worth going on an adventure with. And to me, the tone was so dramatically different in selling what it was. And I think everybody who is on social media, like we are, just desperately hoped, and I know this was in one of my group chats, that the reason she was cast was Millie Alcock's performance at the Golden Globes, because that is who Kara Zor-El is
drunk. That's true.
in this movie, right? And there's so much that's implicated in this. Like, if you are going to do deep dives, like I'm sure some of our friends here are going to do, there's a lot in this. And I just think they absolutely nailed what I think this character is when you are adapting this specific graphic novel, because this does really seem to be an adaptation, and things change all the time when you're making these. But I just think selling why Supergirl deserves her own movie, and it nailed that. I love the music that was used, the tone, introducing Lobo for a millisecond just to get people excited that Momoa is back in the DCU after, 2 years since Lost Kingdom. And so you can have a flip. Like, I'm surprised my goosebumps went away. Like, I watched this, I recorded my reaction while my nachos were in the oven. Ironically, it was blue chips with orange and tomato. So it was just ironically red, white, or red, blue, and yellow. And then, you know who I was most excited to show this trailer to, though, was my daughter, because I took her to see Superman as her first live action superhero movie ever. And it was getting to share that experience with them, because they're this is so long-winded, but Andy's used to this by now. The MCU is so far past them. Like, it's going to be over in its Degrassi, the Next Generation phase at some point. And so getting to see Superman with them, and specifically being a girl dad, being like, Melody, I have to show you this. And it's everything.
Wait
I love.
the fuck. No, I'm sorry to interrupt you. What is your daughter's name?
Melody.
That was the name that I was going to choose for my daughter. And my wife vetoed me. She said, no, fuck that.
Well,
was, wife, happy wife.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
so,
but
yeah. It's Kismet. No, Ben, I think that's amazing. So yeah, I'm so excited for this. And this is exactly the kind of tease that I think will work for people who don't have an idea. But if you're a fan of this character and this interpretation, because it seems very faithful, like, this is going to put butts in seats because it just looks real. Like I loved Superman, but the cinematography choices in that had like an unreality to them. And they use their money effectively because I don't categorize this as like a space odyssey. This is a disgusting road trip through space, right? You're on the floors of buses. It's not you're inside a giant skull. I don't want to hear anything about the Guardians of the Galaxy similarities. They didn't invent space operas, people.
No, they didn't.
And so
Guardians of the Galaxy was the blueprint.
Yeah, they invented
Guys, they copied Guardians.
Yeah, they did. Mine's over here. It's too far away, but otherwise, like I've watched the trailer multiple times. I'm super excited about it, and I think it's awesome that we've now had 3 live action Supergirls in the span of like 4 years. I'm including Melissa's entire run.
That's true.
Sasha Calle, and
the Flash,
and then we have Millie. And so I'm just excited to explore more of this world. And hopefully when we see the movie, it'll explain why Lanterns got delayed.
Okay, yeah, we will get to that. We will get to that. I want to read through some comments first. How's it going?
I think are we talking about lanterns? I'm sorry, I was gonna make
no. We will talk about lanterns. Like
okay, guys, go ahead.
Later. I promise this is a Supergirl discussion.
Yeah.
Just gonna go through some quick comments from Hunter Iggy. What up, fellas? Hello, welcome. Good to see you.
What's up, Hunter Iggy?
Music lover _KB 4913. Yo, I'm so glad to finally tune into a live stream TCT podcast. And for once with D and I'm not that special, but thank you. I'm flattered, and we're excited that you are here. That you are here with us. Allison, listen. I would never. I want all perspectives when it comes to pop culture media. So there you go.
Just because we're men, we're not supposed to love Supergirl.
Yeah, no, but like, I mean, there's been so much ridiculous commentary today on Twitter. About
I've seen them. But it's Twitter. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, like God forbid that Supergirl wears headphones without being like,
oh my God, Walkman.
God forbid a female drinks have a shot in a bar. Like, what the fuck?
Clearly, they've never seen Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I started watching the trailer earlier this afternoon, but I didn't get to finish. Just watched it all the way through, and it was so cool. I'm hella excited. We're glad to hear. Oh, marketing is working. Kevin Feige, you should try that sometimes. Dallin
Marvel
says,
doesn't write comics anymore. They don't market them. How would I know?
That's true.
That's what? Good point. I just bought the hardcover deluxe edition of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow today. Again, let's just, for people who listening to this at home, when they first announced the Chapter 1 slate, within the day, because they were referencing a bunch of comments that they're using as inspiration, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow was sold out at Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. Like there was I don't understand why Marvel is so against. Exactly, like promote your source. Promote
this sold out. I talked to multiple comic book store people when they made the announcement with the original title. It sold out, and you know what they did? They reprinted it.
Yeah,
they reprinted. Yeah, I think
my copy's in the other room.
We believe.
Sure.
No, she's just ordering right now, like on instant, like
Amazon is out of stock.
But yeah, no, but again, I wish they would do it and promote more comics at Marvel, because I feel bad for those creators. From Supergirl in the Arrowverse was literally Girl Clark Kent, which kind of off, though. I love Melissa Benoist as Supergirl. Yeah, I mean, I like Melissa as Supergirl. I think the show just got sadly worse in the later seasons. But I think she's one of the best. I mean, the thing, we've never had a bad live action Supergirl. Every Supergirl we've had, despite what the film or the part has been, the actress has always been great, and they've always get delivered. So there's that. Buck Rogers was the blue princess. Mind the gap.
You're technically not wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers.
Flash Gordon. Shit, you beat me to it. Yeah, Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
That's the man. Yeah.
Hunter says, Ben, the Snyder are saying that Supergirl will be a comedy movie. Where did this look like a comedy to you?
What did you is? What if it has some funny elements? Like what? People are.
We're not allowed to laugh during DC. Ben. Obviously,
it's
dead serious all the time.
Oh,
No, it
good.
has to be dark and broody.
Rachel is so right. Rachel says, "Yeah, in Superman Lois, they just forgot that she existed." Yeah, yep. Because for whatever reason,
Yeah, they
Todd
never
helped.
mentioned the cousin.
No, because like I mean, because Todd helping is weird.
Mm.
Andy, we
So
did an entire podcast about
uh,
why they
yeah, I
should have
don't.
included her.
Yeah, I like. Listen, I can't do that sober again. So like, but we will just move on. Electra says, like, it's been a while, but I played to the chat, but live in Super Bowl again, yes, and we're glad to see you. Angelica says, I look, I like the look of Creme.
Mm.
Sure. It's everyone is entitled to their opinion. It's perfectly fine. But we will. I got pictures. Don't worry. Like I've been collecting 4K shots all day.
Can
Making
we
sure
talk
that,
about
like,
they released it in 4K? It's so few trailers actually do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they're gonna release it in IMAX, then they better release it
Yeah.
in 4K when they're promoting a trailer. Music Lover says, when me and my brother saw Superman in theaters, one thing he noticed was that to him, Superman in a one scene at the end felt more relatable than Superman did in the entire movie.
Were you
Okay.
drunk watching Superman?
Yeah.
I
it was-
I think it's Superman's very relatable, but again, everyone
Yeah.
has their own connection to Clark. It's perfectly fine. Here is
Yeah,
also
well, this is
Jedi-
not a monolith. People connect to these characters in their own ways.
Mhm.
So I can see that person just connect them far more with.
which is
with,
perfectly fine.
yeah.
Jedi
our
Mike.
Jedi Mike, our good co-host Jedi Mike 7. Guys, go check out his channel. You can click on that in the show notes. Hi everyone. Wish I was on, not feeling well. We hope we feel better soon, Mike. At the moment, but great discussion. Trade looks promising. And here's his question: why do some of the visual effects look better than Superman?
I can explain this. Do you want me to? Well, it's the choice of the lighting makes a big difference. Like
Yes.
everything with Superman in the sky for whatever reason, and I'm not
Super
saying
exposed.
it's super overexposed, which when
Yeah.
you're doing that, it adds an unreality to it. And I
Yeah.
think the choices that they use when we see her abilities, she's either standing on the ground or there is particulate in the atmosphere. So it allows the renders to be slightly lower grade, which means you can add more intricate detail to whatever you need to be. And the choices as to when we use them, like one of the most classic things we've all seen with superheroes is when they fly at certain speeds, they break the sound barrier.
Mhm.
The best way to illustrate that in here is she quite literally blows through the atmosphere upwards. So the
Yep.
trajectory of her speed is much more relatable because you are seeing the laws of physics be applied to. Right? The lighting, like I'm not going to putz with mine because it takes forever to get them correctly, but like there's rules.
Yep.
I like what Allison Hamburg says here. Supergirl is for everyone, especially the dog lovers and chaotic queens. Haha! So excited for a comic actress car who deals with her trauma on screen. Yeah, because that was one of the things I remember. Like a lot of people talking about, like when after Superman was that, why is she drunk? Like why is she doing this? It's
Like she even said it on the trailer. It's when Ruthie asked her, what did it feel to lose everybody on one day? And she said, the gods are not that kind. And it wasn't even just one day.
No.
So she had to deal with that trauma of seeing people slowly dying on her planet. So
and therapy, I don't think is a thing in space. So like
Yeah.
so it's like again like this.
Well, there
is
could be
Supergirl-
space therapy. We don't know.
that's true.
I would love to
Lobo's
see
so
it.
well adjusted. I don't know what y'all talking about. It's clearly there.
Yeah, he's riding a hog in space with those space dolphins and
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
I wonder
Electra
if it-
said-
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I
We'll get
was
to
going to
Lobo
say,
later.
I read the series when it first came out. Might need to reread it again. Yeah, this is the time to do it. It's only 7 months left, so now's the time. Yes, we know in Supergirl they said it was another Earth, but here's the thing: Todd Helbing was just too lazy to actually know how to connect to the other shows. So he was just like, "Nah, I'm just gonna lie to the audience for a whole year, and then next year I'm just gonna be like, we weren't connected."
It didn't even make sense. Andy, we can't do this. We can't.
No, we can't. No, I can't do it sober. No,
Can't do it.
Well, like my mind is thinking, yeah, they connected. They just didn't mention anyone else.
No,
yeah,
because they
but-
spent. I can't.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay,
this is this is our
It
our
sounds like
trauma.
it's a touchy subject.
No, not
Oh.
you. Todd Helbing in the CW did. Music Lover just wanted to clarify. That was my brother's opinion, not mine. I really liked the movie. It worked on the whole. So there we go. But let's get into specifics. And I feel like because I think we have a lot of good things to say, but that's why I kind of just want to get to to death.
Oh,
Um,
Yeah.
Well, can we address the most obvious, which is, I think, one of the most frustrating parts about the design in the instance we see him in, and this is obviously just my opinion, is
yeah.
like,
Oh, by the way, for our listeners at home who are just listening to the audio version, we're showing a picture of Krem from the trailer where
Yeah.
he's
okay, well, are we going to assume
piercings.
people have read the book? Because, like, this is one of those things where it's like, if you've read the comic, you know what the story is. And in this introduction to him, like, it might as well hold your hand and be like, that's the bad guy. Right? Like, because in the comic, he don't look like that. Like, it does seem kind of like beating the audience over the head. The bad guy looks scary.
Well, in the trailer, they didn't make emphasis that he was the bad guy. So, it's like they show all these Ravagers. Just get it. They show all these
It's the
characters.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm just
led
joking.
by Sylvester Stallone.
I'm just joking. So they show all these characters and they show him. So, like, if you're watching from somebody who hasn't read the comics, they could think, oh, there's just another random guy from that bar fight scene. But
that's the comparison.
yeah,
There we go.
The reason why I do not like that design at all, I do not like it at all. And I will give it a pass because he's running away from Supergirl and Ruthie, so he could be changing his appearance, try to make himself look different so he doesn't get spotted right away, that stuff. So I'm gonna give him a pass. I'm assuming that's what's happening. But I like the idea of having this unassuming man coming into a farm and then have this farmer greet him into his area, into his space, and allow him to stay there and then get betrayed. Because to me, it feels like that's something that is in it's something about seeing somebody who seems normal and having some insidious darkness to him. And that's what I saw when I read the comic. It's like, oh, he was just an unassuming guy, but all of a sudden, like, holy shit, he stabbed him on the back. So I like that. When I saw that they cast this individual, I was like, oh, he looks like him, and he looks like a guy that could play this nice guy, but all of a sudden, this darkness takes over him and does what he did. And spoiler alert to anybody who hasn't read the comics. I don't remember. I think it was the Green Mile that I was watching. That bit that I don't know if you guys seen it, but at the end, they show exactly what happened, and it was just just an assuming guy that comes into a farm. The guy helps him, gives him food, let him stay in the barn, and he helps around the house and all that stuff, and he does what he does, right? So that was like the thing that messed me up about that film, because you trust people, but sometimes they seem nice, but you don't know people really, so that's what I was like. I like that character to remain that way. That's why when I saw that, I was like, oh fuck, I'm not a big fan of this.
Well, I want to because I want to turn to Ray, because like again, like with them doing these changes, do you think it could maybe be because like they're trying to lean as much as they can into the whole space alien atmosphere? Because again, it's like because we know that this will mostly be in space. So again, like we're most likely not going to see humans, and so what would humanoid like looking people
They
look
did
look like in
gingers
the
dirty. Just say it, Andy. They did space gingers dirty.
Wait, listen, this is all we're seeing. Like
gingers dirty.
Space gingers.
They do gingers dirty anyway. Like every ginger character in the DC universe gets, swiped by one of us. He gets.
Listen, Iris was Candace Panashe. She dyed her hair red in the later seasons, so like it's possible. But going to Ray, like, how did you feel about when you could you instantly tell that's Krem, or were you kind of like that's supposed to be Krem?
I didn't read the source material, so I'm sorry I can't really comment on that too much. This is all new information y'all are sharing with me right now.
Okay, but for someone who hasn't read the comic, how does it look to you? Like, does it look kind of like, oh, this is just a little bit too much, or is it kind of like, no, this would make sense if you're running into someone like that in space?
from watching the trailer with like zero context, I was like, oh, okay, this is probably. It was hard to tell, like, if this was going to be an antagonist or if it was going to be like some weird offshoot ally or something like that. So I kind of got the sense of I didn't get a sense of the weight of like who this character was necessarily from the trailer. So unfortunately, I didn't have that like oh whoa like moment other folks may have had. So I think that shot came right after the this like group of like space marauders or something
Yeah.
like that. It looks like a bunch of like bounty hunters or just the bad guys, the quote unquote bad guys, I guess. So I assumed that that guy with like, all the face piercings was
Yours.
part of that group. So yes, that was the impact of who that character was didn't hit me because I didn't know. So I just assumed that was one character that would have more of a presence and interactions with Kara and the other characters within the movie. So like kind of like the main bad guy, but like it wasn't explicitly given, just outside of like that one like, close up still frame that we looked at. So yeah, that was my take.
It's a good building of mystery also because because again we also have to remember that not everyone is gonna read the story. Some people will go into that and see it for the first time with like this will be their first time going through this iteration of Woman of Tomorrow. So I remember
It'll
for
be
me
1%. Like if you actually look at the numbers, like let's say this does about as good as Superman, it's probably 1% of the people who went and saw it read the graphic novel. It'd be great if that percentage is higher, but like you can Google how comics are selling, right? Like so I think it's more so like like the 3 or 4 of us know what that character looks like, but for some people, and we have somebody with us who has no idea, it's just a character, right? So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like source material is source material, but they're going to change it the way they're going to change it. Like, do I like it? No, but he doesn't even speak, right? Like we don't need to, we're going to get to it, I'm sure. We don't need to hear Jason Momoa speak as Lobo to know that's going to work because his personality is
Lobo.
Polynesian Lobo.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I will say like when Krem showed up, because there had been some rumors out there that this version of Krem was going to be like a monster, like more monstery or anything like that. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But then we see this, and I'm like, you know what? Like, if again, because we're in because again, we don't know what cultures exist in space. Again, depending on where Krem comes from, like maybe this is just his aesthetic. This is someone who has something to say. It's a fashion. It could be a fashion statement for all we know. But again, like, I like the fact that because if not everything from this book is going to end up in the film, because again, otherwise we know exactly how it starts, how it goes, and how it ends. So, but yeah, I definitely feel like in the next trailer we're probably going to get more clues to like we're probably gonna hear him talk. We're probably gonna like see him like doing more things. But if anything, this is to build up a mystery. Cole, when you saw Krem for the first time, what went through your mind?
Yeah, I think I may, because I didn't watch the trailer immediately, and I was on Twitter, so I think I saw it beforehand. So I got spoiled. But I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, okay, like that's Krem, I think, but it doesn't look like him. But I just think there's something so. I think it's scarier if he's like how he looks in the comics, because I feel like there's something scary about the nature of someone who's, as you said, Ben, is inviting and then stabs you in the back like that. But if you see this presence on screen, immediately you're like, oh, that's the evil bad guy. That's my take on it. And I think it's just like it defeats the purpose, and well, not the purpose, but it defeats the backstabbing and the horrific moments that partake in the comic to me.
For you, Kyle, how I wonder, like, what did your daughter think when she saw Krem?
she was unnerved. She was like, she stepped back. I mean, like, again, she's seen, I guess context is probably relevant. Like outside of the 2 live action, or I guess the one Superman movie, the one DC thing she's seen, her only real exposure to the DC universe in general is, because I like to think I'm a good dad because of this, the DC animated universe. So like she's quite familiar with Kara from the version in Superman the animated series, and then on to her appearances in Justice League Unlimited. Like her favorite episode, we watch it quite frequently, is Initiation, when she's in that first episode with Green Arrow, Captain Atom, and Jon Stewart. So like she was just super. I think she thought it was really funny in Superman that Supergirl was in that one scene. She's like, "Where did she go, Dad?" I'm like, "She went to her own movie." So she knew that I was waiting for this to come out. And then I think like for people who don't, again, non-readers of this, there's a lot of information flashed. Like it reminded me of seeing the trailers for Wicked for Good, which is if you know what happens, they tell you a lot. But if you don't, it could be almost overstimulating. Like that moment, which we see the fire and the silhouette and then the looking into the camera, like that, she was like, Dad, I don't like that guy. I'm like, well, you're not supposed to. And so she was more into anytime it was focusing on Kara. That's the stuff that she was talking about. Like, why is Kara sad? And I'm deciding how much to tell her. And then she really enjoyed when we finally saw her in the costume. That was the big moments for her, because that's Supergirl wears a costume and it has a skirt. Like that's the version that Melody is aware of. So when we see the scene when she's swinging some form of broken machinery, here we go. Yeah, this she thought was incredible. Yeah, some of this stuff, I think, and this is maybe just me, but it really did remind me of like the tangibility of the first Abrams Star Trek movie. Right? It was like big budget and futuristic, but like all those sets are not made out of cardboard anymore. They went to real places and they augmented things that were real. Like one of my favorite shots in that is when Kirk drives up on his hover bike to see the Enterprise being constructed before he enlists. And that was a real factory. They just added the Enterprise on top of it. So it's like you're enhancing things that are already there. And anytime we see Kara, it does feel like she's really there. And also, she's a super heroine, right? So you're taking Millie Alcock, who I think is 5'2", and she's like lifting up 6'4" men. Like it's just, I mean, the irony is Melody is tall for her age, but yeah, she was just enthralled. Like, when's this come out? And then the date flash, she goes, "Oh, we gonna see this?" I'm like, "We will see this. It'll be out the last day of school."
Damn. I want to one of the comments that I want to bring up from Electra is I hope in this movie will show more of Kara's backstory and her witnessing the destruction of Krypton. So let's get to Krypton, because
I have a theory.
I have a theory too. I think that's Kandor getting taken over by.
That's exactly what I thought. Ben, we're on the
Brainiac.
exact same page. Yep, Bottle City.
Yeah.
There you go. For our viewers and listeners who are listening to the audio version, we're showing screenshots from the trailer, and this is the moment where seemingly Kandor there's a big bubble going up on that, and this is again, like we've seen Krypton in very many instances, and
I was like Krypton looks like very Dune-ish like.
Thankfully, it's not crystals. Like that was, we talked about the Superman trailer, and one of the things that I was most curious about going into that film was the reliance on the John Williams score, right? That we all hear that music, your brain goes to Superman, it puts you at ease, right? Because the song is 57 years old, right? At this point, like we know this music. And so setting this up and showing the significance of this, and I think it really does establish why Kara is the way she is and what she's dealing with versus what Clark was like in Superman.
Yeah, Ray, I want to ask you. I mean, I'm sure you've seen a lot of Superman media before. So, again, after seeing the Superman movie and getting a little tidbit that we had about, why Jor-El and Laura sent Clark to Earth, and now we're seeing a little more of Krypton through Clark's perspective. What was it like seeing this kind of getting a little getting a little tease of that we're fleshing out the Kryptonian mythology in the DCU?
I think I was still in a not super sure where my eye was being drawn towards as far as like where I should be paying attention or what context clues I should look for. So I didn't have any like I guess insight into like what the timeline was of the image we were looking at of Kara on Krypton during that, like, I don't know if it was a funeral proceeding or just some sort of like ceremonial garb everyone was wearing for some specific reason. I didn't have that context. So I am still kind of pondering, okay, is this like in response to the fallout of, the destruction on the planet, or is this leading up to it? Because some, like, knowing that trailers oftentimes like, put scenes and shots and dialogue over unrelated scenes, and it's not necessarily in sequence of like how we're going to see those images on screen in the final film, and me being unfamiliar with the source material, I wasn't 100% confident as far as like, okay, is this scene even going to correlate with what with what the dialogue is overlaid on it? So that said, I'm kind of hesitant to say with certainty or like any sort of confidence exactly like, okay, was this even like Krypton? Was it like a different planet like y'all are, suggesting? So yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at. I'm like, I need to like probably watch this again, like with this context that you're giving me.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, because what happened?
A trailer for Street Fighter just dropped.
Oh my!
Sorry.
When you said
there was also a new trailer for the Lego Batman and the release date.
Oh, Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Yeah. Okay.
The release date is May 2026.
That makes sense. I mean, that's when
May 29th.
Oh, good. When Ben said trailer, and I felt like if this man says Avengers Doomsday,
no, that's not coming out.
Yeah, I was like, because
no, that's not coming out. That's coming out right before Avatar.
Yeah.
Which is annoying for some of us who have seen Avatar already.
Oh, you have. Well, now that's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
It was a movie.
Well played.
This is
yeah. Listen, this is not a show for James Cameron.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. Where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought.
Krypton.
Yeah, we've seen so many different takes on Kryptonian culture, and like I think like to Ray's point,
have we, Andy? Have we really?
Yeah.
So many. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's been crystals by anybody who's seen.
Did you watch Krypton?
Movie. No. So that's 2.
Then there's Smallville.
Okay. Also crystals.
Superman and Lois.
Also crystals.
No, not really crystal though. On Supergirl, it was crystals. That's definitely. But like in Superman and Lois,
sorry, it was nanite ice. I'm sorry, it's very different.
But again, I like that we're evolving the look of that culture and that planet. Mm-hmm. And again, I think to Rhea's point, like because again, trailers are edited in very peculiar ways. I think if we hadn't seen, and I will bring up this, if we hadn't seen this particular shot where she's also in white robes and so on, I think that it could have been interpreted as like, oh, this could be any alien culture, but I think this is supposed to be younger Kara before whatever happens to Kand or whatever happens to Krypton happens. And because again, because I know that the actor who plays Zor-El said in an interview that we're going to get a better sense of what Krypton really stands for, like what their people actually are like, because again, right now our perception that we have of Kryptonians is Clark, Kara, and Jorah and Laura. Which again, like, was there something lost in that message? Who knows? Again, I don't think
No.
we're definitely not done with that mystery. I feel there's more to it. They might still be like, yeah, we definitely want you to rule. But now we're seeing from Kara's point of view, and again, I like the fact that it's this Krypton encoded. Just it doesn't feel like a copy paste. Again, it's it also depends on like what Superman era you grew up with. Because in the comics they have been depicted in very many different ways, and so and again, like I said, like Ray said at the time, content is probably going to matter because in some Supergirl stories, she gets suspended in animation, when Krypton destroyed, or she gets sent to the Phantom Zone or something like that. But in this, this will be obviously different. So, I definitely, since she brought it up, I do wonder what this is also our first look at Alora Zor-El,
Her mom,
her mom. But no, this is not the shit. Oh, this is
the
what I
bus
need to
driver.
That's a bus driver. I do wonder what they're holding.
It looks like
It's
a
got to be
funeral.
a coffin, right?
It looks like
Yeah. Damn, who died? I don't know.
Hmm.
Could be anyone.
It was
It could be.
obviously Sparky, the super cat.
What if her
You mean-
dad died first and then?
Mm.
Maybe that's what causes Jor-El to snap.
Could be. I want to know if they have different ideologies.
Well, I don't want them going back on that idea because it would feel like such a waste of what Clark learns from Martha and Jonathan.
That is true.
Like,
Did you
Fair
right?
point.
Like, sorry, go ahead, Andy.
did you mean Streaky the Super Cat?
Streaky, yes. Well, he's got a lightning bolt on him. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but like, because I know our friends at Supergirl Radio would murder me if I didn't correct you, because I was like, Sparky the cat. I don't think there's a.
I always screw up his name. He's in like an episode of Superman the Animated Series.
But
No, I think that's important because one of the most it's one of the funniest parts about the Kryptonian anything, just their society and the politics of it, was in some version there's always a person, doesn't necessarily matter who it is, who's like, hey, the planet's gonna blow, and they're like, nah. And to have I think it is interesting depending on how far we go with this Superman saga. I mean, we all know Brainiac's coming, but are we going to get more inclinations into the political aspirations of different people? Like, is this an instance where maybe Jor-El and Zod were much more aligned than we've ever seen before? We know, like, on the complete flip side of it, something I hope doesn't come into this particular DC universe is we know some shady stuff about the Waynes. Like, I like that we're not always capitulating to these parents have to be these beacons of the best people possible because it makes their offspring less interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
I like the idea of their parents being complicated individuals because that's what life is. Just having,
Right.
parents we are just people try to make the best out of it and try to give you the best advice. And I like the idea of they having this conflicting relationships, whether it's with a Kent, well, not the Kents, with a House of L, and I want to say, because the thing is, I want them to, touch up on all those things and go into Krypton and have that little back and forward. Listen, the Krypton is gonna blow up, or I don't believe you. That's not gonna happen. Because I don't know if you watch the science bros. They're always fighting with each other because each one of them feel like they had the best idea of what's really going on, like with science, and having the same debate in Krypton. To me, is a little bit fascinating.
Well, it could also be that in this iteration, it's what if, for example, let's say Zor-El dies early, and that's what gets Jor-El to snap. And again, maybe Laura wasn't so much on that deep end, but she kind of just starts to follow his ideology, making sure that maybe one of them is really, really bad, but the other one is kind of like torn where they stand with and what message you're going to send to to Kal-El as the planet is dying.
Mhm.
So again, I feel this is going to be a story that we see across multiple projects. Like I feel like like by the time we get to Man of Tomorrow, like, it's not going to be done. Like I feel we're going to still like see that Krypton was very complex, and I like the fact that it is not just that they were these holy saints, like again, because again there's been a lot of takes of Krypton where, like Kyle says, someone usually will try to warn them, like, y'all, this planet's about to die, and they're like, no, you're crazy, they're trying to gaslight them, like, no, you don't make any sense, and they try to silence them. In most cases it is usually Jor-El. So one of the comments I want to bring up that leads into our next discussion point from Angelica Kate, the cinematographer they hired was the one who worked on Ex Machina and Annihilation, because y'all,
Yep.
this cinematography,
Looks good.
holy God, I'm gonna just for our listeners bringing up shots right now, like where cars literally flying into space. This is again, okay, this is the wrong shot, but this is a mood.
No, that's the best shot. What are you
No.
talking about? That's the best shot.
Again, like this doesn't just look like copy paste. James Gunn's Superman. Again, like this
No,
feels
yeah.
like we're in outer space, and you know what? This is why I'm glad that we didn't really, because again, when the film was in production, there wasn't a lot of. There were leaks. There were things that we saw through set photos and set videos, but like, again, they maintain a lot under wrap. Like, I think like the one thing that I think
There
we
was
also
like one leak, and it was that final. I think it was one of the final.
I think it's
We've
this
seen
right here.
This
Yeah.
set, right? We saw
Yeah.
this set.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's swinging around. That's the scene that was leaked
Yeah.
from
And it
like
was
a
on the
drone
out.
or something.
Yes. Man, remember when drones weren't a thing? Or like, like you could actually have like a secure, like again, because I was like, how is this like? And then someone was like, that's a drone, and that's how they're getting to. I'm like, this feels like such a gray area that's so messed up. But this
Can I ask you all a question about this? Because I've
Sure.
always found this incredibly interesting. Like, obviously, people have different opinions, but I've never understood wanting to know everything, because it just completely dilutes the experience. Like,
Yeah, it does.
there's been things that I've found out ahead of time, and like sometimes you're like, yeah, fine, if it's just going to be like, look, this guy's here, or this character, or this anything, and it means nothing, like, you're fine.
Like this.
Sure. But again, context to that means everything. Like, if a character, so like I'll use an example that's on the red team. If Andrew and Toby just were like, we were also Spider-Man, and then they left, like, knowing they were going to be in it would mean nothing, because all you get is the 5 seconds of euphoria. Like, hey, look, I was alive when these came out. Sorry, Cole. And then, but they do something with it. So like, if you were spoiled by maybe one of the worst kept secrets of all time, that they weren't in it, or that they were in it, like, that matters. But like, look, there's a set we have no context to. I don't understand that at all. I've never understood it.
I hate I remember seeing that clip, and you're right. Context matters, because to me it just didn't mean anything. We don't know what happened before it. We don't know what happened afterwards. We don't know the stakes of what's going on at that moment. So in reality, it doesn't take away from the experience seeing stuff like that, but getting specific plot points or characters that we didn't know about, that's what ruins movie going experience. I don't know if when No Way Home was going to come out, nobody had a 100% certainty that Toby and Garfield were going to be in it. Like, it was just like a rumor that was like 99.9, but we didn't have any level of 100% certainty that it was going to be a thing until what's his name, John Campea posted those images of all three of them. So when I watched the movie, it's like it robbed me of that little experience. Like, hey, there they are. So I also don't subscribe to that idea. I want to know everything. I'm fine with just watching one, two, or two trailer, and that's it. But thing is, like Cole, Cole knows this. When you run a page, you get spoiled a lot of crap.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So did y'all see what Millie said today?
About the character that's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
she
yes.
How do you feel
reveals.
about that?
But to me that made as much sense as
She being in his movie.
Yeah, like it again, like with what we know about the DC universe, and Andy and I have talked about this, like I'm very excited about this avenue of the DC universe, but like Superman, and people are going to probably yell at me that I'm saying this is patriarchal, but like he is the head, one of the three heads of the Trinity. So far, the road is only paved in blue, red, and yellow. In terms of the DC universe, like there are two other highways we got to start laying brick for, because as much as I love the Superman part of this world,
I want to see more.
I want to see more. So
Yeah.
it was when we knew this was the next movie, I think anybody who watches movies would go, she's probably in it. Like she would have to be.
Mhm.
And so the next thing that is connected to this, we all know what's going into production. It was as shocking as Brainiac as the bad guy is. Yeah, I wasn't surprised by that at all. I
Yeah.
expected it.
Well, it hasn't been officially announced.
Well, I mean, it's when the star of the film says it.
Yeah. It was a brief conversation, but we haven't seen.
She
we
also
haven't
give the context. Well,
Yeah.
a little bit of context behind.
Yeah,
this.
but again, it's
He's a
it
wee
will be
baby.
different. It will be different when we actually see it.
Oh yeah.
But I want to. I don't even know if I should bring up this comment, but like again, because there were again, but like it's because people are crybabies. Sam in the chat says they literally put on Superman's reputation in the trailer itself, and
That dude is a troll.
That was so funny.
it's a troll.
Crypto
Yeah.
doesn't like him.
And also, guys, a dog pissing, like they don't think about like, oh, I hate this man. Like he was just like, oh, my owner's teaching me how to pee on paper. Like, holy fuck. Like when we brought up at home our my little dog niece, like that was things we would train her on. So it's perfectly natural. And the commentary of crypto in the DCU has still been so fascinating for me because I'm like, y'all are mad because he's behaving like a dog.
Well, Superman was the dog sitter. He didn't do a good job at dog sitting.
It wasn't his fault. It is
No,
abundantly
it wasn't.
clear.
But
Clara is a bad dog owner.
But he put the dog in a couple of predicaments, so probably he has some memories of the stuff that he dealt with. So you never know. Maybe he has some issues with Superman. I wouldn't wish it was just Henry Cavill Superman. I love Henry, but it would have really gone nuclear if it would have.
I mean, yeah. No, what you know what went nuclear for me was this. I love dogs too. Like I'm like, look at him. Like, look at this. The fact that this is all CGI, I don't understand. It's like this, like
here we can explain it. They're given time to finish the CGI.
Yeah.
This movie's been done shooting for like what? Oh, we at 10 months probably by now.
Yeah, and we got 6 more months to go.
They wrapped in May.
Yeah.
Okay, so the movie will have a full year of post production. Like this is the best thing for the industry
over a year
that
actually
has done. Yeah.
It will be over a year because it comes out in June. So by the time it will be in 13 months.
13 months.
Because again, I know she hasn't read it. So but again, nobody don't ruin it. But Rhea, when you are you worried for crypto? Like after seeing that, like just someone who hasn't read the comic, and again, like comics take really wild turns. But how did that make you feel?
I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest crypto fan, so I'm not really on the I hope crypto's okay. That's not where my brain is right now, unfortunately.
Interesting.
You're not
I
a
actually
you're not a
love- I
dog
love that-
person.
You don't like me, Rhea. Look at my face. You don't like me. I see people.
Are you not a dog person, Rhea?
Oh, I'm a cat person. See,
Ah, that explains it.
I am not a dog person, but that's only because of bad dog owners. I have to context for
okay.
this.
that's
They have
true.
bad dogs. I've had bad experiences with dogs poorly trained by people.
Yeah.
So I have an indifference to canines. So like it's a objectively it's a cute non-living animal that happens to be in the film.
You don't think I'm real, Kyle? I'm so good. Oh,
I
stop.
know he's not real.
So do we think they're gonna do it?
I do.
No.
I do. I do.
No, not. I don't think they're gonna do it in the way.
Not to that point. Yeah, and
It won't be that
that-
severe. No.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Because otherwise,
Well,
Melody's gonna have questions after this film for you, Kyle.
Well, I will see it first, as I did with Superman, and then I will decide. Or maybe they'll get the Kyle edited version when it's available on home video.
Gunn did say this is going to be more disturbing than Guardians 3.
Ooh.
more.
Because they're gonna kill off a main character instead of just having everybody go their merry way and not be a real conclusion.
Probably. I don't know. I don't know.
For the record, I loved Guardians 3, but the
Yeah, I
ending
love
But
Guardians.
he
Yeah,
said
me
it's like
too.
more darker than Guardians 3.
It
So
was a little
maybe-
bit dark with the
Okay, here you
animals.
go. Electra. Let's see. Electra makes sense. I'm a cat person too, but I think Crypto is cute.
Stop trying to throw her under the bus. She
Yeah, Electra.
doesn't care about crypto.
Yeah,
Jeez.
It's fine. It's fine.
You
The
made it
voice
abundantly
of
clear.
Multiverse of Color
I
doesn't
want
like
to.
crypto.
It's listen. We don't
I
Let's-
broke him. I win.
for disclaimers. I've never asked her to do a short on animals. So again, everyone is entitled to their opinion. So leave Rhea alone.
Yeah,
because
let's leave her
I-
alone. She's the only
because-
girl here. We're always ganging up on her.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, I agree with her. Like crypto as a character, he's fine.
Yeah, I'm either way. So the next thing I'm going to show for everyone is so that just for disclaimers that this is definitely not a shot from House of the Dragon, and this image took me so long to brighten up like crazy because we have our first look at Jason Momoa as Lobo the Bounty Hunter, and he's literally in it for 2 seconds,
He's
maybe
a real
3.
bastard.
I don't think he was even in there for a second. But
Not
that's-
even for
No,
a second.
it's 2 frames.
I mean, 'cause I
Probably.
had to pause because I was writing this about this on at screen today, and I had to pause and for him to get a good shot of him. Because again, there's it goes so quick. I'm like, no, I need your eyes open because he blinks and walks in, and I'm like, but he looks so good, y'all.
He was there for half a second and he was trending above Supergirl at one point.
He
I
was
mean-
still trending. I think I looked at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so 6 hours after the trailer. Literally, number 1 was Lobo.
Wow.
But this is something
Yeah.
that has been in the like. It's an indictment on social media and what is popular and what isn't, because the titular character of this wasn't as high. But I think the only reason that I would feel like people maybe are more excited for this is he's been talking about Lobo since 2014.
Since
like-
Aquaman.
Yeah,
Since he
Yeah.
was cast as Aquaman. Like this is something
he didn't even. I don't even think he really wanted to be Aquaman. I think he was just like,
I don't think he did either.
I don't think so
Yeah,
either.
yeah. I think he was just kind of okay, cool. But I think if Zach had offered him Lobo, he you would have seen him yelling on social media like, "Woo!"
Well,
yeah.
this does explain that Woo video, right? It was
Oh,
shortly after Lost Kingdom. He's
Yeah.
walking out of what would have then be
Yeah, he
dubbed
was thinking
DC Studios.
Zaslav and
Yeah.
Gunn and stuff. I saw that.
Yeah.
I just love that he's getting his stream because Jason Momoa is awesome, and again, he also is so much like Lobo in real life. That is and this because I remember every one of the things that people were looking out so much for during filming was Lobo, and and I think people need to remember Lobo is not going to be in this movie that much.
Did we see a leak of him, Cole? I feel like, or was that confirmed to be fake?
A leak of Lobo?
Yeah.
I think he's thinking about the shot that came out that
On
when
the-
he was on a motorcycle, and then that account admitted, "Oh, it was AI." No,
Was
I'm
it?
talking
Yeah,
about
that was AI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know what you're talking about.
I mean, this is what's so dangerous with AI. Like, you never know these days.
Fucking
What is-
yeah.
We're literally
Yeah.
gonna like Doomsday or well, we've already seen the Doomsday AI leak.
Yeah.
Oh, of all the character
Yeah.
photos? Yeah.
I was gonna say we're about to see Doomsday AI.
I didn't tell this. I didn't say this to Rhea before, but Rhea, there was one night I almost sent you those images, and I'm like, "Can you do it shorter?" I'm like, "Wait a minute. This may not even be real. Let me not put it because because she does these shorts so amazing, and so I don't want to waste her. I don't want her to waste her time." I was kind of like, "But is it? I don't know."
I mean, it would be this. The thing about that stuff, I should like even with the Lobo thing, but you never know because of drones. But why on earth would they at this point take those character solos, like the character posters? Like it would make no sense for them to actually take those photos
Right. Yeah.
unless you planned on them getting leaked.
Yeah. But screw the MCU. We're talking about the DCU. So, what from the little shot we saw of Lobo, are you happy with how he looks, or do you need to see more before you can judge?
I actually do hope, even though Aquaman sounded as much as Jason Momoa, because there was no work, like he wasn't. It's his cadence, everything about it would so perfectly fit in with Lobo. There's something about the other versions of Lobo that just for me, from like being such an animated fan, they're on a lower register. Like Brad Garrett in Superman the Animated Series, and then I can't even remember who it was in the
Man of Tomorrow animated movie.
yeah. It's like he's like a rock singer or whatever. But
I think it's I gotta hear him talk, because having him talk as a third person also makes a little bit of difference on
Ryan
what the
Hurst.
character is. Yeah, so that I think that's what's gonna separate him from even more the look, but having hear him talk is what's gonna separate him even further from Aquaman.
I need to hear Bastitch. I need to hear
Yeah.
him say Bastitch in the first official trailer
Yeah,
and like just rip a cigar, light it in the weirdest possible way.
he's already like walking with a
Yeah,
stogie on his
in the
face.
shot.
I need him to just like take one out of his boot and just like he lights it off of the smoking hair of a victim.
Ooh.
See, Electric, she and I were vibing tonight. Like, there was a version of Lobo in Krypton as well. The Krypton TV show in season 2.
That
Lobo
was
did
horrible.
show.
I remember that.
The wig was bad, but he was
Yeah.
spot on Lobo. But the wig was
Mm,
Wait,
That's
why
the
was
bit-
Lobo in a story about
Crypto.
Superman's great grandpa?
Good question.
he's a bounty hunter. He's like immortal, isn't he?
Is he immortal? I know he killed his entire breed so he can
Yeah.
remain.
But if he can
Yeah,
regenerate, wait, hold on. Comic book
Yeah.
logic. If he can regenerate himself, somehow he must be able to like live.
I got a feeling that was one of those what's the name of that show, Gotham type of thing, where they introduce all the Batman villains for no fucking reason.
I
even
mean,
though they didn't-
I love Krypton. I love Gotham. So you know.
I'm not, yeah, but it's still, it was weird to see every damn character when they were supposed to appear when Batman was like in his year 3 or something like that. So, but anyway, so yeah, I thought that was one of those weird characters that they introduced in that
Well, and-
show.
I mean, to Lobo, I think what's incredibly fascinating about all of this stuff is like Tom King's been like, well, we wanted to use him. And so I think that's one of the things not being in the book that I'm really curious to seeing, like, how does that weave into the story? Like, I can kind of craft what I think would make the most sense, but I really hope in terms of this character, it's minimal amount of screen time, but like Glenn Ross is the hell out of this. Like, always be selling, always be bastitching. Like, that's all really you need from this character, because you don't want to have him in it too much to sort of pull from the other stuff.
You see, he's supposed to play because according to wasn't he supposed? Because I think what's the name of the bounty hunter that he uses in the comic book? I think that's who they're gonna use as Lobo. Which the
That's what
bounty
I
hunter didn't spend too much time in the story, so it will make sense that he's
Go
just
ahead, Cole.
Oh, I was just like, I heard that rumor, or like people speculating that.
Mm.
I think that makes the most sense, but again, it's not a big role.
No.
Yeah.
So
Again,
I
it's just to
feel
give a
like-
little taste of like what other people are out there, beside, because we're going out of, we're going beyond Earth. So, again, like there's, lots of DC mythologies that we're exploring. He's just one of them.
Right. I definitely think he can fit in the story for sure.
Oh, for sure. I agree.
We'll just see how.
Yeah.
Rhea, what did you think of seeing Jason Momoa as Lobo? Was it it was literally like, this is the only shot we have, and again, I had to brighten it up just so that people could see, like, yeah, that this is Lobo. But what were your takeaways of seeing the little snippet? And are you excited to see Jason Momoa back in the DC world, but now it's a very different character?
I think because it's been spoken about and hyped up from all the different like photo leaks and things like that, and hype, like it was a little like, for me, it was kind of anticlimactic because I felt like this is probably all we're going to see of his character. This is probably like the majority of of how much we're going to see, because I already know that it's going to be kind of like I don't think this is the right term, but like a glorified cameo, but like there's going to be a character moment of him in the movie. So yeah, I guess like I think that kind of cut the wind under my wings a little bit going into the trailer, knowing that like it's not going to be something to really like seeing Momoa as Lobo. It's like, oh, it's a spot in the movie. Like he's not going to be like, a running, through line that is going to drive the plot necessarily. At least like, that was more or less what I gathered from before seeing the trailer. So seeing it, I was like, yeah, this is awesome, but yeah, I already know he's only going to be in the movie for a little bit. So yeah.
If I had to guess, I think he has maybe like 2 scenes in the actual film, and I think he could be one of the post-credit scenes. Probably like the funny post-credit scene that we usually get. Like, we have like the main one that is like, serious, or and then we get to the when he's just like, y'all fucking still sitting here, and then he just like throws a cigarette into the camera and we all burn or something. That I don't know. Like
I hate those, if I'm being totally honest. Like, if you're gonna do it, I want it to matter.
So you were furious when Chris Evans comes into the screen and sits down on the chair, like, so you were
No, honestly, yes, because for a while they mattered, and then the irony of that moment in Homecoming, which is when it was twofold. One, it's the worst Captain America costume in the MCU because it's his Avengers suit. And 2, that movie had a timeline issue in the movie about Avengers, which it's Sony, so are we surprised that they completely fumbled? And then we got a decade after that of post-credit scenes that just haven't meant anything. Like the one in Superman was fun, like where they're like looking at the lineup or the building not being 100% lined up. Like that was fun, but the post-credit scene, I think we're all suspecting we were going to get in Superman, just wound up being in the movie with Kara being there.
Yeah.
Right. So I'd honestly much rather that, like, surprise people with like, it's not even a pre-credit scene, but like a soft ending where it's like, and here's the next thing, right? Like that to me is much more exciting than, obviously you should just sit through the credits because so many people work on these things.
Yeah.
But this is Craig Gillespie though, right? So it'll be very different to see what he does because James's post-credit scenes in the Guardians ones, outside of the Infinity Stone connectivity stuff, like the ones in Volume 2 were just
that was a movie.
He said he doesn't want to do that again. Like, no more teaser, post credits.
I want to bring up what Mind the Gaps is in the chat. That would be the best choice because Lobo only works when he shows up, does something cool, and leaves. Shouldn't be a main character. Yeah,
he should be Space Coulson. He just sort of pops into the different things happening
What
in the
that
weird
is such a
galaxy.
wild comparison. Like
Yeah.
No, it's
Colton
not.
as in Phil
Coulson.
Coulson.
Yes, who was in every Phase 1 movie.
Yeah, but like their vibes are so different.
No, the
Like-
concept of him
The
coming in and out.
concept, not tone of character. Like have
Like-
I mean, we have Frank Grillo, so that I mean, we ain't got time for what because he's the Argus Coulson, but like our next project after this is Lanterns. Where do most of the lanterns work? Space.
They could run into Lobo again.
Why can't you? He's a bounty hunter. They're cops. You
Yeah.
don't think Dog the Bounty Hunter ever ran into the real Popo? I
Mhm.
guarantee you he did. It just never made the show.
Fair enough. I also want to highlight. You know, we get an introduction to one of the core characters from this film, Rufy.
Oh,
And-
Ruthie perfectly cast, by the way.
Yeah, like because I was so expecting them to cast someone in their 20s that just looks 16, but like they actually cast like a real teenager. You know, again because Ruth she has a big role in Woman of Tomorrow, so we get a little sense of I love that she gets to be the one kind of like asking all these questions like, what happened to Krypton? What is
Well,
Superman?
narratively,
like?
it makes the most sense, right? As opposed to Kara just sort of like lying on a bench, drunk, being like, "Oh, my life used to be so much better,"
or
and then
better.
like, yeah, perfectly, exactly like this. And then, but you get to have like the relationship between those characters is going to be really fascinating, and I think it's smart to have her be one of the focuses of the trailer, as opposed to just like. And here's some random little girl, right? Like you could
Or him.
maybe, or like I don't know. You'd have to go back. Did Iron Man 3 include Jenna Ortega in the trailer? Right? Like
What?
I don't know.
Jenna Ortega was in
Jenna
Iron Man
Ortega,
3.
Iron Man 3?
Yeah, she's the vice,
Yes.
vice president's
Oh my God,
daughter
yes.
with no
yes.
legs.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
Wow, they wasted that casting because like
Or did they not? Or did they not?
well, she's the vice president's daughter. Like she has to like you can't just like retcon that.
Or you
what,
just don't need
secret-
Jenna Ortega. There's also that. We've talked about how I feel about Wednesday, and this is a DC podcast, so let's avoid that.
Okay.
He's testing me on so many levels. Like how do you what? I'm not even gonna try. What was everyone's impressions of Rufy from what we got? Raya, do you want to start?
I was like, yes, a character who is basically the tell us how this happened. And it's like, funny that you asked. So yes, I'm like, yes, please ask all the questions. I need context.
Well,
Fair
yeah, how
enough.
much legwork is this going to do, right? Like we talked about what we probably see of Krypton. Like this is going to, it's one of the things about Superman that might have bothered some people. I personally didn't care. I kind of liked the threes, right? In the opening of the film where it establishes like what this world is like, but
Yeah.
we're not just gonna
I
not
just,
tell
I just,
you.
I just didn't like the font. I'm not
Yeah, they
even
could have
kidding.
used a
Okay.
little bit better.
Because
The scratch font that's in this, I use, which I laughed out loud. Like when it started showing the people's
but I
names,
like the font in this because it's so like it fits Kara's like personality. Like
it's spray paint.
yeah.
Right. That's the.
Yeah.
So no,
You know,
I
like,
think it's
look out, look out. Cole, as someone who I know I know you read the comics. So like, what was it like seeing Rufy for the bits we saw?
It was sweet. I think Eve Ridley is gonna do a really good job. From what I saw, I really much liked. The one thing nitpick, she doesn't have her headbands or her crown. It's like a crownish.
Little hoodie.
And
ooh. I
yeah,
have a theory
and then
about
for,
that.
like, I don't know. I feel like that was necessary, but
She's gonna get a ripped piece of cape.
Or headband.
yeah,
Yeah.
she could just put it on in the middle of the film,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be happy.
Right, because we don't see. There, I feel bad. I don't want to go through like every piece of the comic where I think it kind of addresses when certain stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that
I mean,
for the people who haven't read it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one shot that I'm bring up here. Like it looks like she has something
Ooh.
around her head, like, or unless it's a hair. I don't know.
What could
Again,
it be? The braids, like
Yeah, her
sort
hair's
of.
definitely braided.
Yeah, so that's
Also,
kinda
how good
Look
is
how
lame.
good that heat vision looks, though.
Yeah, it
Like, can
looks
we
good.
talk about how good that looks?
The
Yeah,
color
so-
and everything, it just looks
Well,
so
just
sharp.
the illumination, because like I mean,
Mhm.
even with Clark, when we see heat vision, normally it's like the eyes are wide and we're mad or whatever. But
Yep.
just to see like there's a look of panic, and but
oh
this
yeah,
there's this
it's not a full stare. It's kind of
no,
like
there's this stillness to Kara using her powers, because like canonically, depending on which versions you read, she's more powerful than Clark. Right? She spent more
Sometimes.
time on. So like, I mean, this is the stupidest thing because it's all science fiction, but like the science behind how he's able, like we all know the red sun stuff, but he was a fresh out of the womb baby born on Krypton. So his Kryptonian biology spent maybe a year on Krypton at maximum. Sometimes it's
Months.
like months before he's sent off to Earth. She's in her early 20s, or depending
23.
on
she's
well,
23.
so so likely, like I'm just basing this on Supergirl's generic history, she was probably 13, right? Because that's the whole point. She was supposed to look after Clark.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, so she's trapped for some period of time, or maybe she was 20 and she's been like, who has any idea? This is all speculative, but she spent way more time on Krypton than Clark did, right? Growing up there. So in theory, she would potentially have more exposure to yellow sunlight.
Yeah, and
So-
that's the thing. Like, why when people have this conversation about like, oh, Supergirl, how can Supergirl be more powerful than Superman? It's like, but she has, because she comes from the culture. Clark is Kryptonian in blood only, but like he see himself as like he consider himself as human most of the times, in depending on what story you're looking at. What are you laughing at?
I was gonna say that's like me with being Chinese, where it's like I'm Chinese by blood, but Canadian by mostly culture.
But like,
I think
that
that
wasn't
was
even
not, I think it was not a racial thing. It was a more, I belong in this planet because I don't know,
Well, he
being
doesn't think of himself as Kryptonian.
no, but
Yeah.
he thinks of him as a human being, meaning that okay, you migrated to this place, you grew up your entire life here. This is the culture that you
wait,
know.
hold on. You're saying that Superman is an immigrant?
Yeah, so so
You know
that's
who you
what-
are. You know
so
who you
that's
are.
why he identifies with that more, and that he couldn't say that I'm just as human as anybody else, because this is where I live my entire life. This is what I learned. This is the upbringing that I was given. So I cannot really identify with Kryptonian, other than whatever relationship I had via FaceTime with my parents.
Yeah, like there's a pivotal moment in the trailer where like when Ruby asks Carl like what is Superman like, and she says he sees the best in people, whatever. But then Carl goes,
Yes.
I see the truth.
I think that's why Ruthie is so important, because I think she's going to be a plot device to show a drastic difference between her and Superman. This is how you learn, oh, okay, this is the things that makes them different. Superman sees everybody beautiful. She sees the world for what it is. People are not just one thing. Nobody's just one thing. People are
Like she doesn't see the world in black and white.
in black and
whereas,
white. No, she sees people for like
Yeah.
like any normal individual will like give you a chance, and then sees you acting weird, like, no, I'm gonna step away from this individual because this is gonna be trouble. So I think that's like the normal way of seeing things, and that's how she views the world. But while Superman, it's like everybody's beautiful, and like, what the fuck?
One shot I think that I want to bring up that I think speaks so much to, like, again, that she's not just this drunk party girl, but like that this is someone who is traumatized. We see her flying to space and she screams, because that's probably
I'm familiar with that scream. I'm familiar with that scream. I don't know if
I don't-
if any of you have dealt with loss, but you I lost my dad a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and I remember more than one time I told my wife, "Let me go. I need to go get something," and I just wanted to get in my car and yell and scream out of my lungs because there was something like there was a knot in my throat that I couldn't. I don't know why. Like I wanted to cry, but I don't want to cry because I don't want to be in like weeping
There's
all the
more
fucking
recovery
time.
time from crying.
Yeah, so like yelling just like releases all that anger or whatever, whatever you're feeling at that moment. So yeah, I think that's her going into space. I know in dealing with, probably she dealing with some memories of Krypton being torn apart, and she just wanted to go into space and yell.
I mean, I think this is gonna be a story that also, like, I think this will be very much something that tackles PTSD.
Oh
You know,
yeah, oh 100%.
like PTSD, because like again, for the bads of the Supergirl TV show, did one of the best episodes in season 3 was when we see, and I don't think we've ever seen a Kryptonian in live action have, like, she had a full-on panic attack because she's blaming herself for thinking that Mon-El is dead. She's like seeing this perspective, like, oh my god, he's in the ship, and like, oh my god, like I sent him to his to a doomed fate and whatever. And because the thing, like, just because he have these powers, it doesn't mean that they don't get fucking anxious or terrified.
Well, we saw that in the first season as well, when like with the red tornado.
Was that? I don't think that was a panic attack. That was just her being angry.
I know.
She does the solar flip. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Rachel. Season 3, episode 2. Yeah. See, this is what I was doing the Flash podcast, because I could, I don't remember half of the things that happened on Supergirl, but like, if you ask me about Flash, I can be like episode 18 of season 7. But yeah, I feel like we're, again, like, this is what I'm really enjoying with the DCU is that, because there's still the whole discussion of like, oh my god, did James Gunn nerf Superman? No, he didn't nerf Superman. Like, he is still, again, this is a Superman that is cool. What is it? The second or third year as being Superman? Like, what's it like?
He's in the third year.
Sorry.
No, my question was like, how many years has Superman been? How many years has Clark been Superman at this point? Like 2 or 3 years. Like, he's still relatively.
I think
new.
it was 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yep.
So there you go. Like, again, like I like that they're a little more flawed to them, but like not about their power, but more so that they're flawed about what petrifies them. Like, how do they get trauma? How do they deal with grief? Because otherwise they're not interesting characters if we don't see them that way. But I know, Ben, I know you have to jump off momentarily, and I think this could also be a good place to wrap, because I think that we've covered most of the trailer. So what if we just go around the table, just any final thoughts we have on the trailer, and then we can sign off from there. So who wants to start?
I'll go first. Sure. I think the Ben bringing and us talking about the screaming is kind of what I love so much about this character, and I think what is encapsulated in this trailer is we are going to see much, like we saw this from Superman, and I think for a lot of people that was what was so refreshing about that character. Like, he was, yes, of course, the Boy Scout, but we understood the methodology behind why Clark is the way he is, and have him battling with that identity that he has imposed on himself or thought he was given. And what will be, I'm really looking forward to this specifically. And I just keep thinking about that shot and the anecdote that Ben shared, where I can only just imagining what this scene is going to be for her, where we are going to hear her screaming until she gets to space. And like, because right in Alien in space, no one can hear you scream. So like what that scene's going to be like, I think if you don't love Kara now, from the other interpretations, like I'm it's a safe bet for me that you are going to after watching this.
100%. And to piggyback on that, the composer of
the Game of Thrones guy
and Iron Man 1.
And Iron Man 1, yeah, that's true. Just thinking about
we're eating well. We're eating well.
Oh yeah. So thinking about the composer, I was thinking because that I think like the way the way that they cut the trailers, We don't know what's really happening, but you can see that little shot of her breaking through the stratosphere and then going into space. And we don't know if that's connected and that something happened. Yeah, that something happened and she was like went into space because she just wanted to yell. And we don't know how emotionally that music is going to connect us to that character in that moment and whatever she's going through. Those are like the little nuance that we don't know anything about, and I'm really looking forward to seeing, even though the movie is supposed to be short. But that's a discussion for another day.
I'm also curious on what kind of the balance will be between needle drops and the actual score. And that's something Superman, opposed to what James Gunn usually does, it was very much less needle drop and score heavy. And I wonder if that'll be the same here.
Is the director known for the needle drops? Because I don't remember.
There's a few in I, Tonya.
Cruella.
There were a few.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
but that balance in Superman was nice. Like you had two songs that really
fun. What was the other one?
Punk Rocker.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I wonder if she will have something like that in the end of her movie. But Rhea, any final thoughts on the Supergirl trailer?
Yeah, now y'all are making me try to give context around why they picked Blondie Call Me, because like that song was used for another super unrelated movie from the 80s. So I'm just like, wait, so you're gonna I'm all
American
about,
Gigolo,
subversion.
right?
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, I'm cool with like, subverting stuff, like, because this is like pretty much a 180 from that movie, at least like so that being kind of like the, I don't know if like theme song is the right word, but like, the specific needle drop song for that trailer. I'm interested to kind of like go back and watch it with like some context clues of like, why is it this song? Like, so yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, as my closing thought. Gonna go back and rewatch it after this podcast.
For me, I'm excited. Supergirl is finally getting, a good movie made, because we haven't had one since 1984. And like, Helen Slater was never the problem. She was a great Supergirl, but she had very, very, very bad material to work with. So the fact that we're not able to see, a female superhero movie in this day and age, and the fact it's already after Superman, and the fact that we're putting all this emphasis on the Kryptonians, it makes me so happy, because Clark and Kara, they are such vast different characters, and like this whole idea that they're just Kara's is a copycat, a female version of Clark. No, like it's this Kara, I think what Kyle hit the nail on the point, that if you didn't like Supergirl in anything else before this, I think June 26th you will be. And the last shot I just wanted to bring up was I laughed my ass off of this headline, because I'm like, Clark gets like Superman saves town from nuclear reaction, Supergirl saves cats.
Oh, that was the newspaper that Crypto peed on, right?
Yeah, because he's a good boy, because he's learning.
But we don't know who the writer of those articles could it be Clark just messing with his cousin?
I hope it's Jimmy.
Probably Grace Randolph.
Who?
Grace Randolph.
Oh
no, because this is a real publication.
Well played, my friend.
If that was Jimmy writing that story, I might. Again, still hasn't taken a single photograph in the DCU. Maybe in his spin-off show, which we will talk about.
He's got 0 bullets in his head, so I think he's doing okay.
0 bullets in his head.
Batman.
Oh, damn.
Sorry, was that too quick? Cole got it.
I got it immediately.
Yeah, I did it.
I'm old. I keep forgetting, because like there's so much people being angry about so many different things about these damn Zack Snyder movies, and I can't keep up anymore. I'm like, y'all, movies are movies.
Oh, dude, it's gonna get worse. It's going to get worse. With new owner, with new business daddy, it's gonna get worse. But we have Supergirl in June of 2026,
2026.
which will
And-
be in theaters and not
which will be in
Yeah,
theaters.
yeah,
on
yeah.
Netflix.
And in IMAX. That was
Ooh.
cool to
Yep.
see. But to everyone in the chat, first of all, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts about the Supergirl trailer. And this will probably be our last episode for the year because holidays and or slash me, I'm just gonna be sleeping for like 4 days, and then I will wake up and be, oh, it's the new year, cool. But I want to thank all of our guests for joining us tonight. Alex did text me; he couldn't make it sadly, but we will have him on the future episode. But go check out DC Film News if you haven't done so already. But to our panelists, I want to let's go around the table. You can plug whatever you want to plug, your socials, your YouTubes, whatever. So, Rhea, we'll start with you. Where can people find you on social media and anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, at Glimmering Harpy. That's pretty much my handle across YouTube, TikTok, X/Twitter. All my links are hosted over on Twitter. That's probably like the best hub for you to check me out. And from there, yeah, I'm just happy I could, join y'all for the discussion. And yeah, that's about it.
And also, if you guys are subscribed to Multiverse of Color on YouTube or other social platform, this is the voice behind the shorts that breaks down all the latest entertainment news, whether it's TV, film, comics, you name it. Rhea is on it, and we've been blessed to have her join our team this year. So thank you for joining us, both not just for MOC but also for this episode, sharing your thoughts on Supergirl. Cole, what is home of DCU, and why should people go check it out?
I'm over here on the Doom site, Twitter, at Home of DCU. And that's where you can find DC news and just takes on everything, pretty much. Yeah.
There you go. And also he's one of our contributors in MOC, and he did a great write-up of the trailer. So if you guys haven't seen the trailer, you can always go give MOC a click and check it out and check out his writings. So we love that. Benjamin,
Yes.
where can people find you on social media? And tell
You
them
can-
about, if they haven't checked out Real Anarchy, tell them what it is.
You can find me on Real Anarchy and all social media platform. I'm making a 52-year-old man making a fool of himself.
He does not look 52 at all.
But yeah, it's you can follow me on all social media. All my platforms are DC centric, where we talk about all the things DCU and DC in a positive manner, in a positive space. Nothing negative. There's plenty of that going around.
Yeah. And Kyle, where can we find you on social media? And tell them about the film Realist if they haven't checked it out already.
Yes, I am the host and all the things for the Film Realist. That's the film and TV podcast from a complete nobody. The Andy Stop. That's hopefully for somebody. Covering all the major releases. I don't know when you're hearing this, but the end of the year is going to be insane for me. Welcome to Derry Season 1, Avatar, Fire and Ash, which I have seen, and then looking to wrap up the year with favorite things from the year, favorite shows, favorite films, and most anticipated things. And make sure you're following Multiverse of Color and Andy as well as myself, because there's going to be something you're going to want to know for 2026.
Wait, what are we doing? Oh, that, okay. It's been a long day, okay? And also, I'm old. I don't have to have good memory anymore. It's fine. But yes, and we've also been very fortunate to have Kyle join us on these Jewish podcasts this year, and for many more episodes to come. As we have, listen, the DCU is just starting. Like, yes, it might. We have 7 months. We have to wait. Yes, it hurts Atlantis is not coming out sooner. We will talk about it next time. But we will. No, now you hold. But we have so much to look forward to next year. You can find me at Anarchy on all social media. I am a senior writer for screener.com, so catch me covering all the latest in entertainment, television, and film. And I'm an editor of Multiverse of Color, where with some of these amazing people that you see on screen, some people that you see on the site, some people that are working behind the scenes. Like, I'm blessed to be running this team and working with them, and we have so much more to come in the new year. And Showrunner Whisper will be back. I've also been healing from recovery, so I just haven't had time to work on stuff. So, but for all the people who want to check out these two podcasts, all the links in the show notes on social, where you can subscribe. Do that, because we're going to get way more active next year. But once again, thank you to our panelists, to all the people in the live chat for tuning in, and Also, Supergirl Radio will be live tomorrow on the DC Podcast YouTube channel. So check that out because they're the Supergirl experts. So they will have. I'm excited to hear what their thoughts are and their breakdowns. So the summer of Supergirl begins June 26, 2026. No, these
Buy
students not being able to
physical
say that.
media. Buy
Yes.
physical media.
Yeah.
Buy physical
Buy
media.
physical media.
Yes, because one day, these comic book shops may not maybe no more. So buy them while you still can. But to everyone watching, if we don't see you for the rest of the year, happy holidays, and we'll see you on the next episode of These Studios Podcast. Good night, everybody.
Bye.